I got robbed.
What?
I live very close to you. 4 guys broke into my house.
I wish you hadn't put in the middle, I live very close to you, because now that makes me feel much less safe.
They killed someone's dog in my neighborhood.
Okay, you're making me feel less safe by the moment. It's so funny when you see the waves of what comedians are doing jokes about, because I don't remember Duolingo waves, but I remember waves about like eating ass was a topic that, you know.
Me and a comic were just talking about this yesterday. There was like a wave of 23andMe jokes going
I remember
around
that.
a while ago too.
Yeah, I remember that.
Everyone had their joke about that.
And I try and stay out of those. I'm a clean comic, so, you know, eating ass is not going to be my forte as far as joking goes. But but it is funny. Like sometimes when topics come up, I'm like, oh God damn, I have a good one for that, and I'm like, can't do it. I can't. It's too hype right now. It's too big of a thing.
Well, it's like the consciousness, the whatever, like the one consciousness where like everybody has the same idea at the
All
same
the
time.
parallel thinking that's going on.
Yeah.
Do you have any topics where you're like, you hear it and you go, this is trite, but I got a good spin on it?
Well, so many of my jokes are about dating, and it's just such a common topic. But at least I'm not like I never do general jokes. Mine are all based on like real things that have happened to me. So at least I'm like, I know there's not anyone else with this take.
No, I am so the same.
Yeah.
I had a joke that like I thought was great. Probably wasn't. And
it was probably great.
It wasn't. And
am I allowed to drink the tea?
Oh my God, please drink the tea.
Have we started?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
No, of course you could. This is as good a time as any to introduce the tea. I have to tell everyone who's listening at home, this is a Steep Conversations first. Okay, this is a big first. Chase came today telling me she has a tea brand called Pity Party, and that is what we're drinking today. This is green tea with papaya leaf.
Mm-hmm.
I am so blown away. Let me take a sip, and then I have thousands of questions for you.
Okay, me too.
And it slaps. I mean, this is great.
Oh, thank you. I had so much fun. Like, maybe one day you'll start a tea company.
Sure.
It's really fun to like pick out the tea blends. Like, it's so fun.
So I've had guests come here before, and they are big tea drinkers, and it's not often, but when it is, I get excited. You are the first person who likes tea enough that you started a tea company. And let me be clear again for those listening at home, because you're going to think I knew this when I invited Chase to be on, and I can't be clear enough that that's not true. What possessed you to start it? How did you start it? Holy cow, how does this fit into your life as a comedian?
Right. Okay. So I try to think back of the origin of when it started. I don't know. It's just always been, I love tea. I collect teacups.
Like proper teacups?
The proper, like, cute little teacups. I go to antique shops and like find cute ones.
Oh my God, invite me. I want to go.
So over the pandemic,
I
wasn't touring, and I made a tea company for fun, just a little passion project.
You made a tea company for fun.
Let me clarify. Like, I made the website, I made the labels, I came up with the logo and the name of the company. I did everything except launch. And so that was 2020. I had like the Pity Party website. I had the GoDaddy like domain name. Like, I did everything. That type of stuff is really fun for me. It's like a hobby.
But you're like clearly good at it. You're like, I'm looking at the packaging. It's in the background over there. Like, it's very eye-catching.
Yeah, and they're kind of like they're kind of funny, like, which goes in line with the comedy side of me, where they're like the labels kind of all have something funny to say, or like, I'm having a pity party, like, oh, I'm so tired. So it's just like, that wasn't funny what I just said, but the point is they're supposed to be funny.
I was mapping all of it in my head. I'm like, not funny, check.
Not funny.
The other interesting thing I find about this is like, I would say, and feel free to disagree, that you and I are somewhat in the minority of comics who drink tea.
Absolutely.
Okay. I was
It's
like,
like, I think it's like bizarre that I don't drink coffee at all.
so I will drink coffee, and I
Uh-huh.
think coffee is great. A lot of people who drink tea go, "You what?"
Really?
And
I
I'm like,
mean,
it's all good.
I just don't. I'll drink coffee if I need to pull an all-nighter, or if like I'm like I did shows over the weekend and I was tired and I took an espresso shot. Like I'll use it
Yeah.
functionally,
Sure.
but not like enjoy. I don't enjoy it the way I enjoy tea.
I think I don't enjoy the way I enjoy tea either.
Yeah.
Like today alone, I had a matcha, 2 pots of genmaicha, and now I'm drinking a sencha green with papaya leaf. Like I love, my life is pretty much just whatever teas I'm going to drink that day.
That makes me so happy.
Yeah, but like the other question for you is like, how does tea, or I'm going to ask how, and then I'm going to ask, does it even have to? How does tea fit into your identity as a comedian? Like you have a tea brand, which is the coolest thing ever. But like you're also a comic. Do you let those kind of intertwine in a way where like on stage you might be like, and I do have a tea brand in case you know.
Not yet, because I just launched this in December, and wow, it's March already. It feels like that was yesterday.
Yeah.
But I haven't talked about it on stage. I have been told I should like come up with tea jokes and then be like, I'm the tea comic.
I've been told that too, and it feels so inorganic.
But what I have done is, and I want to mention too, back to the origin story.
Please.
This will make sense why I'm bringing it up. My cousin and I took a trip to Ireland in June of last year.
Amazing.
And all we were doing was going to all these different tea shops, and which is like, who does, like that's kind of random, but we both love tea that much.
That sounds like the best trip ever. But
And
yeah, go ahead.
And she was like, oh, my dream is to start a tea company. And that's when I was like, I have a tea company. And so by her kind of holding me accountable, she's been doing it with me. And it's like, that's been the push. Like I just needed someone to be like holding me accountable.
I think that's me for a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
It's like the gym. It's like waking
and
up early.
She has her, like she's a photographer. That's her job.
Yeah.
And I'm a comedian. And so the way I've incorporated comedy and like what I know is I started a social media page because that's all I know how to get like followers and to get people. And so we've been doing comedy videos all about tea. So it's not stand up, but I've been doing like daily, just like tea comedy little sketches, and slowly but surely getting a following that way. I mean, we have like 700 followers, not a lot, but like
I think that's great.
One of our videos just got 8 million views.
I'm sorry. What?
I've never had a video get that many views in my life.
Hi, me either. Nice to meet you.
And that's like what we do. And it was like the simplest, me just like sipping tea.
But like, that's the thing. Yeah, I think people can smell effort, and then they're like, too much effort here.
Too much effort.
I'm out.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to.
Yeah, they don't want any effort.
No.
They want it to be effortless.
Did you see Forgetting Sarah Marshall?
Yeah.
I think about it all the time, where anytime I'm doing something, I just hear Paul Rudd go, get up, no, get back down, do less. And I just like hear that and I go, okay, like how do I do less?
I don't remember that scene.
Okay, he's trying to teach Jason Segel's character to surf.
Oh.
And he's like, pop up. And he gets up and he's like, oh, you're doing too much. Get back down, do less. And then at one point he just lays there, doesn't do anything. He goes, okay, well, you have to do something, you know?
I saw Forgetting Sarah Marshall in theaters. I really wanted to go. My grandparents took me. I was in high school.
Did you know about the full frontal male nudity? Mm-hmm.
And I'm sitting between grandma and grandpa.
Yeah.
Watching full frontal nudity. And I've never been more uncomfortable watching a movie.
Yeah, I would say getting an eye full of penis with my grandparents would be my dream
the thing
night.
was like, they were like, Chase really wants to see this movie. Like, that's why we're this is what Chase wants to see.
Yeah.
And then this was the movie. I was like, I promise I didn't know.
Yeah, your grandparents are like talking to your parents. They're like, so we think she may be a little ginned up for the boys. Okay,
yeah,
we need to help her tame it down.
This is what Chase really wanted to see.
Chase really wanted to see this kind of awkward, gangly man show his genitals. I just assume your grandparents are the type of grandparents that said genitals,
Yeah,
not
me
you know.
too.
I remember when I was too young to have seen it. I was at a friend's house late at night, and this friend lived probably about 8 blocks away, which is not super far away,
Mm-mm. That's
but
walkable.
very walkable. But we watched the movie Seven. You ever seen that movie?
I don't know. I don't think I liked movies as much as you did.
Oh, you should see it. It's a
Okay.
David Fincher movie starring Brad Pitt and Morgan Freeman.
Oh,
Um,
yeah, that sounds like a classic.
yeah, with a serial killer in it, and the serial killer
Oh.
kills people according to the 7 deadly sins.
Oh, that sounds great.
Yeah, it's a good movie, and I'm not going to spoil anything, but I'll just say by the end, I walked back in the dark at 2 a.m., 8 blocks, and was
Oh.
terrified.
Oh.
I was like, someone's going to murder me, as if I'm that important.
It should have been 7 blocks.
Yeah, exactly. I should have been. I truly do think sometimes, like, anytime I get nervous, like, if I watch a horror movie, I'm like, oh my God, it's going to come get me. I then immediately tell myself, who do you think you are? You think you're that important? You think Jason is going to come and be like, you know who I need to get? Josh Lanzette. You know what I mean? It's just not, or even like with a haunting. I'm like,
that's
who's haunting this
so-
guy?
Okay, I had an experience like that last night.
What?
Yeah, so I'm going camping next week solo
I'm already out. You're going camping solo?
for fun. And I need to get camping gear. So I'm like running around LA picking up things from Facebook Marketplace. And-
That's a horror movie in itself.
Well, I last night picked up a camping pillow from a man's house in Highland Park. It was a $2 pillow that I was buying, and I got there at 10:30 at night, and I was like, this might be how I go.
Oh, hold on. How much did this pillow cost full price?
I don't.
$6? 10?
So I was telling her after, I was like, oh, I'm just going to go pick up a $2 pillow
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
nearby.
That phrase is incredible.
And that's when I said it out loud, is when I was like, oh, yeah, like this might be sketchy. Like, who's this guy waiting for it's Facebook. He sees my profile. Like, I'm just a girl going over to his house at 10:30 to pay $2 for a pillow. Does he really need $2?
Nobody needs that hassle.
No, but I paid him $5 because I felt so bad. I was like, you really must need the money. Like, I'm okay. Spoiler alert, I didn't get murdered.
Yeah.
But I tipped him $3 because I felt so bad how badly he must need money.
I think the bigger twist would have been if you had gotten murdered and this is all in my imagination. That's really where the twist comes in, where I'm just like, wait, Dylan's not even here. This is, wow, I set up all this for myself. I do have trouble sometimes when people do that. Like I saw someone selling something and I was like, I'm sorry, you're selling a used ladle? You need to sell and I believe it was a $5 for the ladle, which by the way I would have offered 3 tops. But like I'm like, you needed a ladle, you need to sell that ladle, you needed that $5.
That's the thing. I've bought a cooler for $5. I've bought a lamp for $5. I've bought ice packs for $5. Like, all these things people are just selling for $2 to $5. They really need the money.
I need to go back to your confidence for a moment, not just in going into situations where you are clearly going to get murked, but also in the fact that, because this is a 2-parter, because I want to make sure everyone at home is following this.
Okay.
You're visiting these strangers' houses, presumably not all women, as we've already heard one of them was a guy.
Yeah.
And no offense, men, but I think you're more likely to murder.
He had face tattoos.
Did you not look him up before you went to?
I looked him up and I went, uh-oh. So I brought up that story because I was driving over going, this might be it.
But then also,
I had a friend on speaker when he came out and I go, is he holding a pillow or what's he
what
holding?
if there's a gun in the pillow?
I know.
I don't know what a camping pillow looks like. Can it fit a gun?
It was really little.
But the other thing I think is wild about the story is you're going camping by yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You couldn't convince me to camp outside in my driveway by myself.
Really?
Absolutely not.
I was going to do, it started as I was going to do a 3-day hike / camping solo, but people convinced me that might be a little dangerous. Like, what if I hurt myself and I'm alone?
What if you hurt yourself and you're alone on a one day?
The camp situation, there's like people around. You're at a campground. So like I'm not just like alone. I'm alone, but there's going to be a lot of people around, a ranger station, like
How do you
things.
put a lock on a tent?
Well, you have to trust that they're good people around you.
I don't
Oh, I'm
trust
very
anybody.
trustworthy, apparently.
I don't trust. Literally, Mother Teresa could come down and offer me a cup of water, and I'll be like, "Where's this been? You put anything in here? You trying to drug me, Mama T? I don't think so."
Yeah, no, we're different.
Yeah, I do call Mother Teresa Mama T. By the way, I heard it. I heard it. Don't know why I did it, but I'm gonna run with it. That's what I call her, and we're friends. Yeah, I'm not. I mean, you may have spotted this when you came in. I always lock the door after I close it because I'm always just like, I don't
Well,
want.
I always lock the door too.
So you're not trusting at home, but you're trusting in the campground.
Well, I got robbed.
What?
I live very close to you. 4 guys broke into my house.
I wish you hadn't put in the middle. I live very close to you because now that makes me feel much less safe.
They killed someone's dog in my neighborhood.
Okay, you're making me feel less safe by the moment. 4 men robbed you. Were you home?
No, I actually have a whole stand-up set about this robbery now. Isn't it interesting when you like tell a story, but you also have a stand-up joke about it?
It's tough because you want to not tell the punchlines,
But
because
it's
then
like
you
I
seem
have
like
so
you're
many
poochin'.
jokes about
Yeah.
it. But but yeah,
Is it in the special?
no, this will hopefully be in the next one.
You're telling me that I'm getting all amped up, excited for this story. I don't get any punchlines, and I don't get to go watch it. You're killing
I'll
me.
tell it on your show maybe.
Okay. I would love that.
Yeah.
Does anyone call you COD, by the way?
No.
Oh my God.
But you
I
can.
wanted to just now.
Oh,
I'd be
you
like,
should.
I want to be COD. You're not going to give me that bit? Okay. All right. We're not on that level, but I'm getting us there.
No, please call me COD. I love that.
I think it's such a fun name. Your name in general is a blast, but COD, love. Okay.
Ugh.
So you got robbed. And I'm not trying to make you tell the joke, but like, do you have like a Ring camera?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I got home. I was watching The Bachelor on ABC.
Was it BIP or The Bachelor?
It was The Bachelor.
Okay, because Bachelor in Paradise is you just got to clarify which it was.
Yeah, which is BIP is amazing.
Yeah.
This past season was the best I've ever seen.
I've never seen The Bachelor or Bachelor in Paradise.
Oh.
I'm just intimately familiar.
Oh, okay. You were acting like it's your favorite show.
Listen, I don't watch a lot of reality TV, not because I judge it. I don't judge it at all. I just I fear I'd get too invested.
Oh my God, it's such good TV.
I love Top Chef
It's
back
just
in the day.
Oh, okay, yeah. I do I get too hungry watching those shows, so it's hard. But yeah,
You don't get hungry for love when you watch The
Yeah.
Bachelor. Yeah.
the alarm was going off and the door was wide open, and I was like, "Huh, that's odd." Oh wait, yeah. I got out of the car and I checked. And then I called my roommate. She wasn't home. And I was like, the alarm's going off. Is that normal? Because I was new to living there.
Okay, your first call wasn't 911.
No, I checked out the situation.
You went in the house?
No, I go up to the door and
Oh my
then
God,
I was
I'm gonna
like,
lose my mind.
I shouldn't go in. And then I turned back around. I called my roommate. She goes, okay, get in the car. And she looked at the cameras and 4 guys had just broken in. Just probably 15 minutes before I got home. And so then she was like, stay in your car. The cops are coming. And the cops checked it out. They wanted to in the video, the 4 guys had left, but they weren't sure if people were still hiding. And yeah, the joke I wrote about it is great.
I believe that.
That I didn't really make it that funny because it was a serious moment.
Well, I think, all jokes make serious moments, bring them some levity. But dear God, here's my other question. And this is not a judgment of you.
Okay.
This is not a judgment of your possessions.
Oh, they didn't take anything.
I was going to say, do you need 4 guys to rob 2 women? That seems like a lot of dudes.
No. So they get in the house and the alarm went off and they left. They were freaked out by the alarm. So the alarm system worked.
Thanks, ADT.
ADT.
That was a joke. Is it ADT?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So I Okay, so basically in the joke, I compare the burglars to a boy band because they were like in little like matching hoodies and skinny jeans and I was like, I compare them to like, oh, they were so in sync as they were creeping in and they were headed in one direction. And then as soon as they get in, the alarm went off and they book it. They went from boys to men and they were so mature. So I was doing like a little boy band joke there
I
with my.
love that.
It's my favorite joke at the moment.
I thought you were going to say something like it was clear from their hoodies that they were Backstreet Boys. And
Then I say they left out the back street.
oh,
And then they
okay,
took
nice.
off their hoodies because it was 98 degrees out. So it was hot.
Okay, that is a great joke. And also, I knew every single band you mentioned. I thought you were going to throw in a weird one like Five or like Youngstown or something like that. But
Youngstown? 5? Who
You know-
are these bands?
why do you hate indie boy bands?
Oh, these are indie boy
Indie
bands?
boy band. I would say the lesser knowns. They were of an O-Town variety.
Well, O-Town I know.
Okay. So O-Town you're comfortable with.
It's funny because I'll ask audiences, I'll be like, what boy band did I miss? And it's always like a guy with like a beard and like muscular guy that's like, O-Town. And I go, really? You're an O-Town fan?
Big O-Town. Well, we found the fan.
Yeah.
We found the one
It's always
fan
like
of
funny
O-Town.
to see what people like, what guys know like their boy bands. It's
Well,
funny.
do you eventually come in there and be like, just so you know, I'm working on this joke, so it's still a new edition?
What songs do New Edition sing?
Oh my God, we're going to get in so much trouble because I also don't know what songs New Edition is.
Okay.
Oh, wait, no. Candy Girl, oh my world. There's that song.
Don't know.
Nope, know it? Okay, nope. Well,
But
now
I know New Edition.
I got to tell you how difficult it is to be the one who goes on a limb and sings and have the person across them go, I don't know that one. Like, I go out there, I put my life on the line. I'm just like, how about this? You're like, no, that's not it. Maybe if you sang it better. You know,
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
I'm going to cry. Who was your favorite boy band of the group? Because everyone had one.
A boy band of the group or boy?
Of all the ones you named, of that grouping of names.
NSYNC.
You're an NSYNC gal.
Uh-huh.
How deep can you go on NSYNC's catalog? Decently?
Pretty decent, but I'm going to throw you a curveball here. I was in a girl band that JC Chazé started
I'm
from
sorry.
NSYNC. So
Oh, stop everything.
I'm loyal to NSYNC.
Hold the phone. Stop the tapes. Everybody in the back room, in the tech booth. We don't have a tech booth. Everyone who's listening, this is all. We don't have any of this, but I'm making sure everybody stops. You were in an all-girl band. Okay. Was it like a singing band, like Dream, like that kind of thing, that kind of energy?
It was like those K-pop big groups.
So like 7-8 people.
12.
12.
They were trying to bring like the K-pop like big groups to America.
Uh-huh. What year was this?
2012.
Okay. Wow. Now were y'all doing harmonies?
Mm-mm.
No. What were you doing? If you're not doing harmonies, what are you doing?
It's fun you bring that up.
Were you the rapper?
Because
Every K-pop group has one.
I got like cast because I was a dancer growing up,
Okay.
and my dance teacher was the one that was like casting it,
Uh-huh.
putting the group together.
Yeah.
So
She was the Lou Pearlman of the group.
yeah. So we ended up on America's Got Talent.
What is happening in this conversation? CODZ? Continue. I'm mixing up your nicknames now.
Well, I mean, we got booed and X'd immediately and made it to the end, got booed. One of the comments, I think it was Heidi Klum, goes, "I'm so confused. There's 12 of you, but no harmonies." So she had the same question as you.
Was it all unison? Okay.
I was never like front and center singing. I was like, the girl would go, "Don't get me wrong." I go, "Don't get me wrong."
Oh, I want to be that person.
Don't get me wrong. Like, I wasn't really singing.
I want to be
But,
the call and response person. In your heart of hearts, did you say, this is going somewhere?
In my heart of hearts, I was like, this might be the coolest thing that's ever happened to me.
I mean, I will say this. Objectively speaking, that is very It's a cool situation to be in. So, okay, we need to get to the first segment. I was supposed to hit the first segment 10 minutes ago, but I've been riveted. I already had a question for the first segment for you. We're abandoning it entirely.
Oh, okay.
So the first segment, you can grab your board. The first segment is called the Newly Friend Game. It's like the Newlywed Game, but with friends. And apparently we live 8 minutes away. And then COD scares me with horror stories. Forget the T. Your new question, okay, and write down your answer. Don't say it out loud. I'm going to try and write down what your guess is and see if we got it right, and then we'll do the same question for me. Your question is, what is your favorite NSYNC song? Flip your board on 3. 1, 2, 3. Flip. You wrote Bye Bye Bye. I wrote Girlfriend, and I wrote Just Got Paid.
Just Got Paid. That's what I was trying to write. Just got paid Friday night.
Yeah.
I was thinking that in my head, but I couldn't think of the name. So I guess it's not my favorite. But the one I wrote was Pop. Dirty Pop.
Oh my God, how did I forget that? That's a great answer. I mean, they're all great answers.
But then I got nervous if I was going to have to sing it like I just did, that I wouldn't be able to.
I didn't ask you to sing it.
I got nervous. So this one, I know this one very well.
Did Girl Radical do the Bye 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 dance ever together?
No.
Was there any Girl Radical who goes, oh my God, JC, I love you so much? Or was there another girl who goes, oh, I never listened to NSYNC?
No. We were all millennials because this was like, we were all like 16 to like 25. So we all grew up with NSYNC. So everyone was a fan of his.
I always wonder who's going to be the member of any group that I affectionately call like the Kevin of the group, which is just like that one guy who everyone's like 18 and the other one's like 41. And you're like, how is he in here?
I know there was like a couple girls in their late 20s, which at that time I thought was very old. That's so young.
Please don't say that.
I thought the time when I was 20, I thought 28 was old. Now I think it's so young. But yeah.
It breaks me. We're going to do the same question for me. Okay. What is my favorite NSYNC song? 1, 2, 3, flip. You said Gone and Bye Bye Bye. I said Space Cowboy is my number one. You know that song?
Space. Yeah. I mean, okay, I'm not going to sing it.
What is happening, Chase?
I'm seeing the music video in my head.
Mm-hmm.
Team Up My Heart, I don't know.
Tearing Up My Heart. I have bad handwriting.
Tearing Up My Heart. Oh, that's a great one.
Those are my two faves.
You did great choices. I thought it was a trick and you were going to do the same
Do I look like I'm trying to trick you?
I don't know. I couldn't tell.
Well, as far as the points, they were gone. So you can say bye, bye, bye. No, I think some people would have done like, This I Promise You or some junk like that. And like,
I was having the hardest time on the spot remembering their songs.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, you could have called for an audible. We could have swapped
really?
it. Yeah, we could have done. Your original question was
like now
tea related.
You're saying you're naming the songs, and I go, of course, but I couldn't think of any on the top of my head.
Yeah, I mean, also neither of us wrote "It's Gonna Be Me." I mean, that's a hot joint.
It's gonna be me.
Yeah. Which also, what a weird way to pronounce me.
I know. It's that meme of May. Yeah.
By the way, that's the game. You can put your board down. Oh. I love how excited you just got.
That was so fun. Well, it's so fun to play a game like that.
I feel like this entire podcast episode is me, like when I first met you, okay, which was today.
Just a little bit ago.
I'm thinking, what a nice person who also drinks tea. Now you're leaving, I'm like, oh, the solo camping, robbery surviving, former girl band member, Jace O'Donnell. It's like, what? Like, I don't know who I'm sitting across from anymore.
It's also interesting, like, I think I come off very shy and quiet. And when people hear I do stand up, like in an Uber, like if I'm talking to an Uber driver,
which I think we all do. Yeah. Everyone likes to pretend they don't, but we all do.
And it's always like, I go, oh, I do stand up. And I'm just like so meek. And so I do think I can come off like, but I think for us to do stand up, we must have stories like this, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I have
you
ones
don't,
as good
you
as
don't
you.
have Girl Radical stories?
Well, no. So it's interesting. A lot of my stories happened while Girl Radical was playing, but it's not part of the story exactly. I have stories for sure. I think, and maybe it's because they're my own, then I'm like, ugh, enough with these. So when I hear yours, I'm like, hello. There are definitely times where I see comics get on stage and they'll tell a story and I will be like, number one, I'll be like, I want it. And number two, I will think, I'll bet that you did that just for the story, and goddamn, I respect it. You know what I mean? Have you ever been in a situation where it's going so downhill and you go, this will make a good story?
Yes, I have a lot of material from bad dates,
Mm,
but it's not that I'm like on the date, like, oh, I'm going to get material out of this. It's after the date,
I
I
see.
go, at least I got material out of this.
Oh yeah.
But I don't stay in it for the joke. I have a very hard time. Um, I'm a people pleaser, and
Mm.
I have a hard time like leaving dates. I feel like awkward. I'm working on that type of thing, but at least I get material, is what I say.
Yeah, I mean, I'm so thrilled to not be dating anymore, but I remember that. So I was a big people pleaser too. There was one date, and I'll never forget it. And it's the reason that I had a strict dating rule, which is I will not go to a place that has table service for a first date. I only go bar service. And the reason for that was
I like that.
I was on a date, wasn't going spectacularly.
Hmm.
This is not exclusively this person's fault. And by the way, this person will never hear this podcast. I don't remember her name, and I doubt she remembers mine. But we went on a first date, and it was just not great. And we finished our first round of drinks, and I'm ready to be like, well, this was a blast, you know. And the server comes up to the table and goes, would you like another round? And I do this. I'm not exaggerating. I go, oh, I think we're. And she goes, yeah, I'll do another. And I was like, are you? And he goes, you? And I was like, and this is mean, but I go, no, just a water is fine. And so now we're in a weird situation, and I'm like, oh my god. And we wrap the date after the second drink. I say to her, I go, you know what? I'm so sorry. Like, I do have a little bit of stuff I have to get done tonight. But like, yeah, let's finish this drink. And we leave. And the next day, she texts me, goes, I had a great time. Do you want to like? Did you have a good time too? You want to go out again? And
You said that?
she said that.
Oh.
And I texted her
Oh.
a line that if anyone is listening to this is a great, in my opinion, you can tell me, we're going to get, whether or not we get COD approvals happening soon. The line that I used to use, which I thought was helpful, is I said, I had a really good time, but I don't think that we have the chemistry that I'm looking for in a long-term partner.
Wow,
But I
honest.
really appreciate your time, and I'm glad we had the chance to meet.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, that was my go-to.
I love that.
And
Yeah, maybe I should do that. I always go like, oh God, I'm leaving town and I'm busy.
So again, for those listening, not watching, Chase looked at a watch that's not on her hand and just goes, I'm leaving town, as if the watch also has the date and your calendar on it. It's just, we got to look at, I got to get out of here. This is time's up for me. Do you actually regulars are like, I got to go back on tour. I'm out.
I use tour exclusively as my out
No.
because I'm gone every weekend.
Well, I was gonna say,
so-
are you like legitimately? Because I'm okay with the stretching of it. Like if you go, like if you tell someone I'm leaving out of town, but maybe you're in for a week. But are you actually out like every single weekend?
Pretty much, yeah.
Ay.
So it is easy for me to be like, sorry, I'm gone a lot. But like if I liked the guy enough, that
Yeah.
wouldn't be an issue. I'd invite him to come to the hotel with me in
like,
Vegas. Like, come on.
well, Vegas is an easier one. What if you're just like, oh, I gotta go to Fayetteville? You know, like it's I don't know. I don't know if you've performed there, but like, I don't know if they're like, yeah, let's get to Fayetteville,
No, I don't even know where Fayetteville is.
Arkansas.
Oh no, I've never done Arkansas.
Oh, you're missing out. By the way, anyone who's a fan of this who lives in Arkansas, I know I sound facetious. I don't actually know. I'm sure it's great.
I've been to
Yes,
Arkansas.
COD thinks it's crap. You heard it here first.
Well, okay, I went to Arkansas on a road trip with my sister, and we stayed at a hotel that there was blood on the walls.
I'm sorry, run that back.
Blood on the walls, and when I put my toothbrush down, it was like a black sink thing. I picked up my toothbrush. There were pubes all over it.
You know,
I'll never, go back.
I mean, you know why there was blood on the walls, right? You're aware of that?
They killed someone.
No, someone was selling a camping pillow on Facebook Marketplace, and it just didn't go well. It didn't go well.
Okay, yeah, that's probably what happened.
Listen. I'm just telling you what I've heard.
But it's because we went for the cheap hotel,
Mm,
and we learned a lesson. You pay more. You
yeah,
just pay more.
you pay more.
Hmm.
I
I'm sure Arkansas is lovely. That's just the experience I have in Arkansas.
I have a weird thing. Okay, do you know? I don't know if you subscribe to this idea. I believe that everybody has a thing, which is essentially like from childhood, you have a thing about something where you're just like, I don't like that, or I don't want to do that. It's my own thing. I'll give you a great example. I know somebody who their thing is they won't eat leftovers.
Mm.
They're like, it's actually a family friend of mine. From when I grew up, she was like, we always had to eat leftovers. So as an adult, I have my own job. I'm not eating leftovers. And I was like, okay,
Oh.
that's fine. That's your thing. My thing is I stayed in some less than stellar motels as a youth, as they say.
As a youth.
As a youth, yeah. When
What were
we
you
would
doing?
when we would take some road trips as vacations as a
Okay,
family,
okay.
just because couldn't afford the airfare, and we would stay at some less ideal locations.
Okay, yeah.
And so as an adult, if I see a Motel 6 or like a Super 8, I'm like, that's a super no. No.
Yeah.
Like if it's a Courtyard Marriott, yeah, great. If it's a Holiday Inn, I could be convinced.
Mm-hmm.
But like the bottom barrel stuff, I'm like,
Yeah.
no, I can't do it.
Yeah.
No. La Quinta, that's a La Pass for me. You know? Do you
Yeah.
have a thing like that? Or are you just like, no, I'm good?
Well, I'm sure I have a thing but I mean, as far as travel goes, I definitely, from like experiences like that Arkansas trip, um, I've learned with travel, I always pay like the $50 more to be in a better situation, or like as far as like flights, like I won't do Spirit just to like save the $50. I do like upgrade. I do treat myself to like being comfortable because
Yeah.
of the like I have done Spirit. I have done the like Super 8 and just like have felt unsafe, have felt like ugh, and
I remember I had done Spirit before, but the last time I ever did Spirit, I will never forget. I got on Spirit, and I said, and it was a shorter flight. I said, hey, can I buy a bottle of water? And she goes, we don't even sell them on these. And I was like, can I have a bottle of water? She goes, no, we don't have any. I was like, I'm sorry. So I can't buy it, and you don't have it. What should I do? And she goes, it's about an hour. And I was just like, I was so stunned. I was so flabbergasted because I was like, I thought they'd be like, yeah, it's $47 for water, right?
Yeah.
Because your ticket's so cheap. This is how we make our money on you.
Yeah.
They wouldn't even sell me one. I was like, I'm out.
Oh my God.
At that point, I was like, I'm never flying them again. A Southwest, I'm totally fine with. I have no issue with Southwest.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
I just flew Southwest.
Right. And you know what? It's no frills, but there's also no problems.
Yeah.
You
No
know?
frills, no problems.
That should be their motto.
Yeah, it
No,
should.
Southwest, no frills, no problems. No thrills either, ideally.
Yeah.
I don't
It's great.
Yeah, let's put it this way. I'm not trying to like throw anybody under the bus, but Southwest wasn't the airline where the door blew off. So, food for thought.
Know.
This is as good a time as any. Are you ready for the lightning round?
Yeah.
These are 5 fast questions. They do not at all have to be fast answers. The reason I have an index card is because this is as close as I'm going to get to being a late night talk show host. So I'm leaning in.
Okay.
They're like, we need another straight white male with a J in his name. Let's get him over.
Okay,
Yeah.
Great.
If all at the same time, Jimmy, John, James, and Jimmy all retire, I'm in.
You're in.
Question 1. What is a favorite ritual of yours? So, for example, I love brewing tea in the morning.
So, when I travel, I take a travel altar with me, and it's something I've been doing since like 2017.
You
So
say travel altar?
a travel altar. So when I get to the hotel, I open, it's like I have it all in this little jewelry case. And I open it up and I have crystals. I have Palo Santo.
Oh, yeah.
I have like some little Buddhas. It's like
Oh.
a little altar. I have like some essential oils and one of those like rolly things for, I don't know what it's called, but just like a massage thing.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Like a jade something
a
or
jade
other.
roller.
Yeah.
And then I have some like I have a card that says invite your fears to tea. And that's like the little picture I put up.
Love
And
that.
so, and then a little journal. And then, so my little ritual is every time I travel, which I travels a lot, the little journal is kind of like my guest book. I guess for me, every city I go to, I write where I am and what I'm feeling and what
I
I've learned that
love
trip.
that.
And then I just have like some normalcy on the road since that's just what I bring with me.
I love that whole thing is amazing. I'm like really
And
locked in
and
on
I bring tea bags with me also, obviously.
of
So
pity
I'll
party or other tea.
no, because that's loose leaf. I'll just bring like tea bags.
Oh, I can give you some. I have some tea bags that I use so that I put my loose leaf tea
Oh,
in them.
I thank you. I would actually love that because I
Yeah,
ran
yeah.
out. I
Oh
don't
yeah,
have
I'll give you
anymore.
some. Yeah, I got you. I also
But
have little tiny Ziploc bags where I put like my teas in there and then I Ziploc them.
oh, perfect.
I'm a child.
Yeah, I love it.
That is,
So
I
yeah,
love
that's
that.
a ritual.
I also love the invite your fears to tea. Incredible.
And it just like is a helpful. I mean, we started the conversation about fears. I feel like I have a lot of them, so it's good to like
Yeah.
just like talk to them as if you're having a tea party with your fears.
I don't know how much failure is going to want to talk to me, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Question 2: what is a running bit you have with a friend or partner that makes you laugh?
One of my best friends, we were obsessed with the TV show The Sweet Life of Zach and Cody growing up.
Okay.
That
The Sprouses.
the Sprouse twins.
Mm-hmm.
We were too old to be a fan of the show. We were in high school.
Oh, wow.
And obsessed. And we would recreate Sweet Life of Zach and Cody episodes. We would memorize the lines. We'd film it back and forth. We'd play every character. So there are scripts of Sweet Life of Zach and Cody memorized in my brain to this day. And a running joke the two of us have is we will just say a line from The Sweet Life of Zach and Cody. People don't know we're quoting The Sweet Life, and it's one of our favorite things. And the writing of Sweet Life is fantastic. I don't know if you watched it.
I haven't seen it.
But some of the lines are so funny. No one knows. People just think I'm being funny. Little do they know I'm quoting The Sweet Life of Zach and Cody.
If you tell me right now that this is one of your biggest comedic influences, I will die.
It's one of the main reasons I am in this profession is because I wanted to be on an episode of Sweet Life of Zach and Cody so bad I got into acting.
Okay. If this can possibly get to Dylan or Cole Sprouse, you've got to reach out to us. We're going to put you in touch with Chase. Get him into something. You know what I mean? Get Chase on something. Just get a pick. The three of you get a pick. Would that just make your life?
Yeah. I mean, I ended up at a party with Dylan and Cole.
Wait, what?
In a jacuzzi. Me like this. Dylan Cole. My friend had been a regular on the Sweet Life on Deck, which is the spinoff of Sweet Life of Zach and Cody. And so she was like friends with them, knew how obsessed I was with the boys. And she invited me as her +1 to their like going away party to NYU. And I had met them 2 other times, by the way, just as like a stalker fan. Like I had run into them at the mall. I had gone to a live taping. And I remember being like, don't let them know that you've met them before. Like, keep it cool. Keep it cool.
Well, you should have just been like, you may remember me. I'm Chase Radical.
I wasn't in Girl Radical yet.
Well, if you had been, they would have been like, oh my God, you're from
They'd be
Girl
like,
Radical?
oh, she's from Girl Radical.
Yeah. Oh my God. Wait, you're the call and response girl.
Yeah.
Where the one says turn it up and you go, turn it up. Yeah. I know you. Yeah.
I know. Darn it.
Okay. Question 3. What is a controversial opinion that you have?
Okay. If I'm dating you, it's a red flag if you don't drink.
Okay. Yeah. You seem very hesitant to share that
Oh,
one.
because I've told people that and I've gotten a lot of flack.
Here's my feeling on that. If you are looking for someone that drinks and you find someone that doesn't, I think you're well within your rights to be like, this is not the person for me.
I've gone on dates in October and
I was waiting for the sentence to end there. In October. I've dated in that month.
well, sober October.
Oh,
And
I thought it was dry January.
both.
What?
But lots of people doing sober October, and I've been on dates in that month, and I go, I can't date during this month because guys go, oh, I'm sober October, and I go, just have a drink, like make up for it one day in November. Like we're on a date, you're not gonna not have a drink.
You know, I heard someone say once, they were like, instead of doing sober October or dry January, if you just didn't drink every Monday, that's 52 days that you're not drinking. So why don't you just take off Mondays?
Oh, that's
And I was
beautiful.
like, that's a good idea.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Yeah, I don't know why not everybody's thinking that. Dry
Yeah,
Monday.
dry Monday.
Nothing happens on a Monday. No one cares about Mondays. That's perfect.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
No, listen. I had similar opinions when I was on the dating scene, which was I was interested in having someone who wanted to party with me. That was a part of things. The main reason I do not drink as much anymore is because I'm on prescription sleeping pills, and those
Well,
things do
you're
not.
also in
they're
a
not best
committed
friends.
relationship, and alcohol isn't like the alcohol is just so necessary for me
It's a social lubricant.
on a first date to just be like, oh my, let me just relax.
Yeah.
And if you're sober, then I feel weird having a drink, and it's just like, just have a drink.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I go, okay, well, if you don't drink at all, what happened there?
What happens?
Like you
What
can't
do we-
just have a drink. Just
what are
have
we
a
gonna-
drink.
What are we gonna do?
Just have one drink.
Question 4: have you ever experienced imposter syndrome? And if so, is there one particular moment that sticks with you?
Oh my God. Every day. The one I just had, I was at the Mothership in Austin, which
Sure.
is Joe Rogan's club. And it's like a very like, the green room situation is very like, you have to be invited in, and you can't just be in the green room even if you're on the show, because it's Joe Rogan's green room.
Yeah, but if you're on that show,
Yeah. The first time I went to the club, I didn't know that rule, and I like tried to get in, and security was all over me. Like, what are you doing? And I was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Like, I'm so sorry. I thought I was going
you're
in
like,
the green room.
I'm on this show.
Yeah, yeah. Anyways, I think I get very like imposter syndrome around really big comics, and I was on the show, and I got invited into the green room, and I was in there, but I was so like nervous about, like, I forgot how to be social and I forgot how to act, and I went to open up the fridge to get a water, and I don't know if you can see, I have a little cut here now.
Oh.
I like ripped my finger, and it just started bleeding, and it was bleeding inside, like it punctured it inside, and then my finger was bleeding, and I was too nervous to even say that I had just like I like, my finger was literally bleeding, and I was like putting it on the ice water, just like, haha, like, yeah, no big deal. And
Please tell me someone was like, are you bleeding?
well, my hand was shaking, and like I didn't say anything because I was so like, how do you act? I don't know how to act. I'm not a real comic. I'm nobody. What am I doing in this dressing room? Like, I don't want to say anything. I don't want to bother anyone. I eventually got a Band-Aid, but I asked one of the door guys who was a friend of mine, and I felt like, okay, equal, like we're cool. It was being around these like big comics.
Yeah.
I was like, they don't even want me in here. Like, what am I? Yeah.
Yeah, you're like, Anthony Jeselnik doesn't use Band-Aids, you know? Question 5, I am so excited to ask you. This is our final question, and you, of all people, I am so excited to ask. What is your favorite tea?
Oh my gosh, what a good question.
Well, for you, this is just perfect, because I'm already, after trying your tea, which again is Pity Party, go grab it. Everyone who's listening, actually, it's really, really good. I really trust your taste in tea after trying this tea, so I'm so excited to hear what your favorite tea is.
Okay. What I think has to be my favorite tea, because it's my go-to.
Okay.
It's a Oh, oof. Oh gosh.
W-
Never mind.
We'll take two. If you want to give us two, I'm open to
Okay.
two.
Okay, fine. So I was gonna say Earl Grey because that's literally my go-to. I
Great
love it
tea.
so much, and I love a London fog, which is the Earl
Yeah,
Grey with like I'll do it with soy milk or oat milk and
sure.
honey, and I really that just like makes my heart so happy. So I
I love
do
that.
love Earl Grey, especially in the morning. Um, I the second one I love like I mentioned I don't like desserts. I love dessert tea. I love the dessert teas. Like
I have a big rec for you, but go ahead.
really?
Yeah.
There was this it was like this pudding tea that I got from this specialty store in Washington, which I don't know about you, but whenever I'm like traveling, I find a tea shop
Me
and
too.
like find specialty teas. This was like a warm bread pudding black tea, and it just was like the yummiest, most delicious tea.
Do you know, like, if you went home, would you know the brand?
Um, it was this little tea shop in Paulsbo, Washington, so I know I could like look it up
Oh
and
my God.
find
Can
it.
you text me later? I
Yeah,
want to try it.
it is so yummy. So
That
I
sounds
must
really
love
good.
the like black teas
Yeah.
because that seems to be my favorite.
I'm very excited to drink the black tea as part of the Pity Party collection.
Yes, and the pity party one, the black tea is called I'm I've totally got this, and it's a cup of tea to celebrate because I got out of bed before noon, something like that. One of those descriptions, and it's black tea with rose petals, and
I
it's very
love
yummy.
that. That was the pod. How do you feel?
Oh my gosh, I feel like we're best friends,
I know. I
and
feel that way too.
I could talk to you for another 2 hours.
Well, you'll be stuck with me on Thursday.
Yeah, I can't wait.
This was awesome. Thank you. You're welcome back anytime, please.
Oh my gosh, yay. Well, thank you for drinking my pity party.
It was the greatest.
For the people that want to buy it, it's pityparty.com.
Oh yeah, and you know what we'll do? We will put a link in the show notes. So anyone who's listening, there will be a
Great.
link in the show notes to Pity Party. Go grab it. You
Go
know?
grab it. Why not?
Go grab it. It's fun.
Yeah, it's fun.
That was Chase O'Donnell. You can find her on Instagram at Chase_O'Donnell and on TikTok at Chase_Elaine. You can find a link to her special People Pleaser in the show notes. This episode was produced by Dylan Rosenthal. It was edited by Martin Alvarez. Our theme song and additional music are by Oliver Hymack. Our cover art was done by Neil Fraser with photography by Matt Mazisco. Social media by Dia Villegas. Please write a review and rate our podcast on Apple Podcasts and wherever else you can. You can send any questions, comments, newly friend game suggestions, or tea suggestions to steepcombos@gmail.com or tweet us at steepcombos. I'm Josh Lanzette, and you can follow me on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook at Josh Lanzette. We'll be back next week, so until then, happy steeping.
Because I did a podcast last night and I was like in the area.
I'm sorry, you're not exclusive to our podcast?
I know that. I'm so sorry.
I don't know what to say about this. Is not okay. Everyone listening, this is not a Chase O'Donnell exclusive. Just so you know.
I'm so sorry.